Hello, welcome to another Yellow Chair devotional. This is our time where every day we spend some time with Jesus learning from our Bibles. So pause, grab your Bible if you don't already have it, and when you're ready, here comes today's character card. All right, so we've got two ladies here. One of them's kind of got some white hair poking out that makes me think she's a little bit older. And she's carrying a map, it looks like, but they're holding hands. There's a lot of grain, right? I see some grain in here. The younger one has a basket full of grain. And then they're smiling, but there's some tears. So maybe something sad happens, but then they were still given happiness and joy. And then our key phrase says, "Your God will be my God." What story could this be, ladies and gentlemen? We have Ruth and Naomi. Ruth and Naomi. Ruth was married to Naomi's son, but after both of their husbands died, Ruth promised to stay with Naomi to be her family and to serve her God. Ruth gathered grain for them to eat from fields owned by a man named Boaz. Boaz married Ruth, and their great-grandson David became a king of Israel. All right, let's dive into this story. Ruth is so special, she gets her own book in the Bible. So we need to find the book of Ruth. Yesterday we were in Judges looking at Gideon, right? Now we need to go past the book of Judges, the very next book. So Joshua, Judges, Ruth. And Ruth has 4 chapters in it. And we are going to take little bits and pieces and try and get this story going. All right, so find your book of Ruth. And our story enters with the fact that there was a famine, there was a drought in the land of Israel. Man, this has been a dry year, right? We haven't had a lot of rain. Maybe you've heard the word drought on the radio or on the news. And so there was a drought in Israel. Nothing was growing. There wasn't food. There wasn't a lot of water. And so this family, the family of Elimelech, and Naomi and their sons decided we need to move to somewhere where there won't be a famine so that we can take care of our family. And so they moved to Moab. And when they're there, their sons marry Moabite girls, and one of them marries Ruth. So Ruth is from Moab. And Naomi becomes her mother-in-law. Well, then sadness upon sadness, all of the men end up getting sick and dying. So Naomi's husband Elimelech, he dies. Ruth's husband, Ruth married here. I believe Ruth married Kilian. He died. And they don't have any husbands and they're all alone. And so Naomi's like, I need to go back to Israel. I need to go back to my people. But she says to her daughter-in-laws, this is your home. You guys are from Moab. You don't need to come with me just because you're part of my family. Now you should stay here with your families. So we're going to pick up this story in chapter 1, all right, big chapter 1, and then find little number 11, So verse 11, and this is Naomi talking to her daughter-in-laws, Orpah and Ruth. So in verse 11, but Naomi said, my daughters, go back to your own homes. Why do you want to go with me? I cannot give birth to more sons to become your new husbands, so go back to your own homes. I'm too old to even have another husband, and I would never have sons in time. It wouldn't help. Would you wait until my babies were grown into men? Would you live for so many years without husbands? Don't do this thing. My life is much too sad for you to share. This is because the Lord is against me. The women cried together again. Then Orpah kissed Naomi goodbye, but Ruth held on to her. Naomi said, look, Orpah is going back to her own people and to her own gods. Ruth, go back with her. But in verse 16, but Ruth says, don't ask me to leave you. Don't beg me not to follow you. Every place you go, I will go. Every place you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. And where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. I ask the Lord to punish me terribly if I do not keep this promise. Only death will separate us. Wow. Just like Rahab recognized the one true God, Ruth does too. And she goes, don't ask me to leave you, Naomi. No, I'm going where you're going. Your God will be my God. Your people, my people. So in verse 18 it says, Naomi saw that Ruth had made up her mind to go along with her. So Naomi stopped arguing with her. Naomi and Ruth went on until they came to the town of Bethlehem. When the two women entered Bethlehem, all the people became very excited, and the women of the town says, is this Naomi? But Naomi told the people, don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, because God all-powerful has made my life very sad. When I left, I had all I wanted, but now the Lord has brought me home with nothing. So why should you call me Naomi when the Lord has spoken against me? God all-powerful has given me much trouble. So Naomi and her daughter-in-law Ruth, the woman from Moab, came back from Moab. They came to Bethlehem at the beginning of the barley harvest. So Naomi, oh, she's struggling with God, isn't she? She's had so much sadness. She lost her husband. She lost her sons. And the people are excited to see her. She goes, no, call me Mara, which means bitterness. The Lord He has not been good to me. I am too sad. I am bitter. And so sometimes we have those struggle moments with God. We see this in this story, that it's okay to have these moments where we struggle and we don't understand what God is doing, and we're sad and we're a little bit bitter and angry. But what we see in this story is that we can't hold on to that. We can't hold on to that. We ultimately need to let go of that bitterness and let God continue to show His love in our hearts. And so our story goes on that it is harvest time, kind of like right now, right? I've seen the combines are out, harvest is happening, but in Bible times they didn't have combines, did they? Instead, it all got cut by hand. And there was this rule, this tradition that God had His people Israel do, where around the edges, they wouldn't get all the way to the edges with chopping the grain. Or maybe the workers are bundling, right? They're cutting, and they're bundling, but their arms are full and pieces are falling. And God said, leave the fallen pieces behind so that the widows and the poor who don't have their own fields, they can come and glean in the fields and pick up the leftovers so that they can get some grain for food for themselves. And so that is what Ruth does. Naomi says, hey, we need to be able to make bread. We need to be able to eat. So go glean in the fields and see what you can find. So Ruth does this, and she stumbles upon the field of Boaz. And Boaz was a good man, and he had a good relationship with God, and he made sure that his workers treated people kindly. And so Ruth starts gleaning in the fields, and Boaz notices, and he goes, oh, that's the foreigner, right? She's from Moab and she's with Naomi. Make sure that we're kind to her. Just because she's an outsider doesn't mean that we don't show her love and kindness. And so he tells his workers, make sure you drop some extra grain that she can pick up to make sure that we're taking care of Naomi and Ruth. And so we're going to pick this up in chapter 2, verse 19. All right, so Ruth spends a whole day in Boaz's field, and now she goes home and she's brought the threshed grain home with her. And in verse 19, Naomi asked her, where did you gather all this grain today? Where did you work? Blessed be the man who noticed you. Ruth told her about whose field she had worked in. She said, the man I worked with today is named Boaz. Naomi told her daughter-in-law, the Lord bless him. The Lord still continues to be kind to all people, the living and the dead. Then Naomi told Ruth, Boaz is one of our close relatives. He is our kinsman redeemer, one who will take care of us. Then Ruth said, Boaz told me to come back and continue working. He said, keep close to my servants until they have finished the harvest. Then Naomi said to her daughter-in-law Ruth, it is good for you to continue working with his women servants, and if you work in another field, someone might hurt you. So Ruth continued working closely with the servants of Boaz, and she gathered grain until the barley harvest was finished. Then she worked there through the end of the wheat harvest, and Ruth continued to live with Naomi, her mother-in-law. Now here we're introduced to some interesting words. We are introduced to a Hebrew word, Hesed. Hesed. Everywhere in the book of Ruth, we see the word hesed. And it is most often translated as loving or kind or loving kindness. So here in verse 20 it says, the Lord still continues to be kind to his people. This word means he is showing hesed. And we're going to run into this word so many times in the book of Ruth, but the word hesed, we can never translate it quite right. And what it really means is someone cares, and they have freely made it their business to take care of you, to look out for you. So Naomi goes, oh, God is showing us hesed. He is looking out for us. It is like loving your neighbor as yourself. The word hesed. And then Naomi also says, Boaz is one of our close relatives. He is our kinsman redeemer. Oh my goodness, this means that you are redeemed by your kinsman, your family, a family member who looks out for you. And so Naomi says, you know, I wonder if Boaz might not even care so much for us as a distant family member that he might even marry you, Ruth. And he could really rescue us and really save us and redeem us because of his hesed, his loving kindness. He loves the neighbor as yourself, that deep love. So in chapter 3, we see Naomi work on this plan with Ruth, and Ruth goes to Boaz when he's sleeping one night, and she lays down near his feet, and when he wakes up, she goes, please be kind to me. Show me hesed. Will you please love your neighbor as yourself? Will you please take care of me because you are my kinsman redeemer? And Boaz, being a good man who is full of hesed, says, yes, I will, but I got to go through some legal stuff first. And so then in chapter 4, he goes to the city gate and he lays out the case before the elders at the gate, and there's another guy who is a closer kinsman redeemer, and Boaz makes like a business deal with him, and they trade sandals because that was one way that they signed an agreement, by trading sandals in Bible times. And in this moment, Boaz redeems Ruth. He shows hesed, this deep love. I am going to care for you no matter what. And so we see then we're going to go to chapter 4, verse 13. We're going to wrap up this story and see how our story ends. So in chapter 4, verse 13, it says, so Boaz took Ruth and married her, and the Lord let her become pregnant, and she gave birth to a son. And the women told Naomi, praise the Lord who gave you this grandson, and may he become famous in Israel. The Lord will take care and give you a new life. He will take care of you in your old age. This happened because of your daughter-in-law, Ruth. She loves you. She heseds you. And she is better for you than 7 sons. She has given birth to your grandson. So Naomi took the boy, held him in her arms, and cared for him. The neighbors gave the boy his name, and these women said, this boy was born for Naomi, and the neighbors named him Obed. Obed was Jesse's father, and Jesse was the father of David. And that's where we're going to end this story. David, we know, becomes King David, and we'll see that story here in a few days. But the biggest thing that we need to remember through all of this is that we see that Jesus, he is our kinsman redeemer. He is our Boaz who shows us great hesed. He has made it his business to look out for us and take care of us. And at the end of the story, Naomi says, nope, I am not Mara anymore. I am not bitter. I am not mad at God. I am so thankful for his love, his hesed, his taking care of me. Even when I forget about him and I'm mad at him, God never gets mad at me or forgets about me. He is always there with his loving hesed. He is our kinsman redeemer. So we can remember today that God is our provider. He is our kinsman redeemer. So how did God provide for Ruth and Naomi? In your free time, you can read the entire story and you can start looking for that word loving, kindness, caring, and you can know that that is our word Hesed, that someone cares and has freely made it, not because someone makes them, no, they freely make it their business to care and look out for you, just like God does for us. So we're going to say a quick prayer and then do a little activity together. Dear God, thank you for the story of Ruth and Naomi. Thank you for always providing for us. And thank you that you are our kinsman redeemer. You have redeemed us. You sent Jesus down to show us the ultimate demonstration of Hesed, that deep love that takes care of us no matter what. And so we thank you for that love. Amen. All right, we are going to do a quick challenge. Ruth spent so much time gathering grain. Let's list how many foods are made with grain. How many foods are made with grain? It can be any type of grain. Let's see, we could say, oh my goodness, bread. Bread is made with flour, right? Tortillas are made with flour. What about pasta, like noodles? Are those made with grain? What are some other grains? What about oatmeal? Cookies? What else? What else is made with grain? What about barley? Like, have you ever had soup with barley? Or like barley can be made into other types of bread or loaves. What else is made with bread? What other ideas? You can always share some with me. The contact info is in the description below. But see if you can make a list, or even go look in your cupboards or look in your pantry. How many things are made with grains? And this is just like, how many grains are there? Like quinoa and oats and farro and bulgur wheat, and oh my goodness, there are so many types of grains too. So that is your challenge. Think about all the things that we use grains in and how we eat grains throughout our day. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, remembering God's loving Hesed for us. We'll see you tomorrow.